Alright, so snow day, no work. Here's the Minecraft video. So you're going to see a lot of stuff here. I may explain some of it, most of it. But the video is getting large fast. I've tried to tweak it so it's not so big, so the video quality is a little down. If you've only ever experienced Minecraft from, say, hearing that it was a kid's game, that all they do is go around and build blocks, you might be about to have your mind blown a small amount. So I'm going to just walk around and give you an overview of my computer. It is an 8-core 3.6 gigahertz AMD system with 16 gig of RAM. Oh, look, it's a TARDIS. This is running Craftbukkit. Craftbukkit is basically a heavily modded Minecraft server that lets you run plugins that people create, and there are just about any kind of plugin you can think of. In fact, you're seeing one run right over there. That character, Walter, is actually an NPC. Back to the system. I've got 4.5 gig of RAM set aside for Craftbukkit. This particular map here I call World 1. It's my main one. I have roughly 50 plugins running on this server. Those also include world generators, which change the way the world is generated. For example, there's one called the Hoth generator, which is a complete ice planet. There is a Sky Islands plugin where everything is a floating island. Subterra, the entire map is underground. Because of all these plugins, it can actually get a little complicated and painful during upgrades because some plugins can collide. You usually wind up having to roll plugins back until other developers upgrade their plugins, but I keep it fairly stable. Let's see here, we haven't seen that message yet. I have one main plugin that I really like. It's called Mine Backup. It backs up each world you go to on your server so that it's all automated. They automatically zip compress. Let's see, this particular world, and I'm probably jumping around a bit, but this particular world I've had for 3 or 4 years. I kind of lost track. This is technically the world I started with when I first ran Minecraft. Let's see, I'm going to show you one plugin first. This is actually just a tripwire, but it is connected to a fireworks dispenser. They automatically reload so they never run out. I used to have this here to let me know when one of the mobs were coming by, like the creeper down here, which you may have heard of. This next plugin here, this is part of the Craftbukkit plugin. It lets you build things like gates that open and close. And it lets you build bridges. Now I am in creative mode, so the mobs won't actually hurt me right now. So let's see, let's go ahead and walk inside what technically used to be my castle, which no longer can really call it. But I did build this wall completely around it, and it's fairly big. So the next plug-in, this is called the lift, and it's basically an elevator. Now I mentioned plug-in collisions earlier. One of my ships, the burner malfunctioned and started burning the ship down. I had to roll back several plug-ins to fix that. Now we'll go on that in just a second, but let's make it night. That's another plug-in. And shoot off a few fireworks. So let's take a look at one of the ships. This is the largest one I've got, or almost the largest, and actually the burner. This one started burning down, and so I had to basically dump a bunch of water on it. Oh, not water. What we need is to light the burner. Hopefully this thing will not burn down because I think I've got that fixed. So the ship, controls, maneuvering engines, steering wheel, still not burning. Basically you move in the direction of the engine, the direction that it's facing. Elevator up and down. I won't go down because I'm in creative mode. Left clicking will destroy the sign. Automatically moving forward. I still don't know what EOT means, but it basically means go forward. I've hit an obstacle. It's probably that tower. Turning. And these larger ships do take a while to turn sometimes. It's basically cutting and pasting the entire ship, moving it, pasting it, and then relocating you. Let's see. So here's another bridge. That was the airship. This is the boat. Works the same way. You can move, you can turn, and an automatic forward. Let's see, what's next? So this compass is part of a plugin called World Edit. It basically teleports the distance that you point. Oh, look, stargates. So the next little plugin that I've used for a long time is called Secret or Hidden Doors. You essentially can hide a door behind any building object, stone, dirt, whatever. So the stargates, these work just like Stargate SG-1. You can build a gate one point, build a gate far, far, far away on the same world, or you can connect different worlds. You can have a series of networks where 5 gates are on one network, 10 gates are on another network, and the two are not connected. Let's see, what is next? So what connects all these worlds together is called Multiverse Core. It essentially lets you move between each of the different worlds. I currently have 39, I think. I've had as many as 60. Just about any type of world you can think of. Let's zip over to one particular one. Hey there, Walter. So, This is one kind of special world that I built. It's called the Warehouse. It essentially contains objects that I've built or imported. For instance, over here I have 2 of the ships that I built. So if anything happens to the originals, I've got backups. I wasn't going to talk about this one, but I also have one that I've been using for a very long time called the Telepad. These essentially let you link 2 different points with a teleporter. And boom, I am on another world. But let's go back. Oop, not that one. The Warehouse. Okay, so at this point I am just going to show off a few different worlds. I'm going to manually teleport to these worlds. And I decided to pick a few that I thought would be popular right now. So here we are in King's Landing. And let me get into creative mode so I can actually move around. This was built along with several other maps, or several other cities and whatnot, by Westeros Craft. They are massive, huge. In fact, they are so big, sometimes they take a little while to load. Even my 8-core machine can get a little laggy sometimes. I push it quite a bit. The majority of this, I've heard, was built completely by hand without using any kind of tools. The interiors of every one of these structures, they are filled. So it's not just empty shells. Okay, I'd like to stick around, but we need to move on. So let's move on to... Let's go to Disney World. Oh, that's not good. I am nowhere near Disney. Okay, I guess we are not actually going to Disney World right now. Let's move on to Hogwarts. So I'm actually in the main spawn point for the world, but we don't have a lot of time, and the map is kind of big, so I've just got to follow the rail line until we get to where we're going. More telepads. I believe this is it. No, maybe not. Well, there's one way to get there a little faster. I've actually got a telepad that will take us right up to the castle. Here we go. So, here is Hogwarts. This map has been around for several years. It was probably one of the first big builds that I remember hearing about. It's quite detailed. All the interiors are built. You can walk down to Hagrid's cabin. You can literally walk all the floors. There's the Quidditch field. Okay, so moving on. Now, I'm about to go to a map that I have not actually looked at yet. So, get rid of this rain. And let's go to creative mode. So, somewhere in here, actually there is one right here. Someone has built hobbit holes, hobbit houses. What I thought about doing was getting these, copying them, exporting them into what are called schematics that can then be re-imported and pasted. And I will show something else with that too. It's kind of odd, I don't see the entrances. Let's get rid of some of these bad guys. So here we go. Inside of one of the hobbit holes. Which, like I said, I haven't even looked at this yet, so this is the first time I've seen it. That doesn't look right. Okay. So there are supposedly several of them. I think 6. But, okay. So, moving on. And I'm going to move quickly to another place. Let's see, we want this network. We are going to go to, actually, maybe it's over here. We're going to go to the fortress. This was a structure I built a while back, just to play with having kind of a fortress type thing. These are called CCTVs. Let's see, where have we been? Did not show you the transport hub or the air launch. Actually, yes. So this is above the where the airships were. It essentially teleports you into a small glass containers wherever you have the cameras at, and you can observe them. A right-click gets you back out. Oh, here's a cool little village I built a while back. This was kind of built from hand, but I did copy and paste some structures. Okay, let's see, let me scroll the thing up there. Okay, let's go up to the top. And another airship. Oh. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to have to take us back out of creative into survival for a moment to get that. Oh, what the heck, let's keep us in survival for right now. So, you may be familiar with portal gun. Whoa, that was close. I almost fell into the lava. That would have not been pretty. So, portal gun. Just like the game. Boom. It's a little picky about the size of the available ground, but literally from a configurable amount of distance, you can teleport back into creative. Let's see if we can make some distance somewhere. And boom. So if you were in survival mode, you could easily get away from mobs coming after you. Ah, and there's one of the mine backup messages. So those just run the background, all automated. Now let's see, what is next? Ah, okay. We are going to make another trip. To London. Let's get rid of this rain. So, got a Stargate here, got a teleport pad also. But, and I wish I had time to show you some of London because it is quite an amazing map. quite an amazing map. I believe the last structure he built was the Olympic Stadium. I think he's kind of taken a break from it. But when you are in London, science fiction fans are going to think of one thing. I'm going to call my TARDIS. So it'll take a moment. It's actually, and I'll show you some of this in a little while, it's dematerializing where it is, and there it is. And if you listen close enough, just like the show. So, use the key to get in. This is only one of about 7 TARDISes available that the developer has made. You can build rooms, eject rooms. Everything does use energy. So right there you can see I've got 255%. I usually just fill it up so I don't have to worry about recharging. The layout of the TARDIS, you can actually build rooms, like I said. Now I'm just going to kind of walk quickly because this file size is probably getting huge. Doors are automatic now. They used to not be. That is a farm. Oh, that's interesting. I fell out of the TARDIS. So this is an arboretum, I think. This is a workshop. Okay, it's not a room. Ah, and here's the swimming pool. Here is a mob farm. You can actually bring animals in. Let's see. So we need to move on as much as I would like to show. Let's see, what is next? I was going to do that, but let's go to this latest map that I set up, which if you saw on Facebook, I posted a map, or a picture of it. So we're going to, basically I selected a destination from some saves and threw the handbrake off. So there's no real auto animations inside the TARDIS, but you've got the sound effects, and that's quite a bit. Instead of picking save locations, you can actually do random locations using the controls. There is a chameleon circuit, which, just for the sake of showing you, I kind of liked... Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so we've arrived. It actually said there we can left click the handbrake. So here we are, what our destination. This is the Shield helicarrier. Most of it is just an external build. There's some on the inside, but it's really not that grand. It's pretty big. It actually was so big when I pasted it into this map, it disconnected me because the server was overloaded. Okay, so what do we have next? We are now going to go to a recharge area, which I mentioned the TARDIS does use energy. And we're going to one called Amplified Peak, which is on a map that I generated using the Amplified world type, which is one of the built-in Minecraft types. It's a very, very vertical map. All the terrains are basically amplified high. So yes, occasionally some of these sounds get a little loud and annoying. And we're just about there. So a recharge area is basically where the TARDIS can be taken to recharge. They call it Artron energy, which I honestly don't remember being in the show. But so here's the chameleon circuit. Looks like a headstone. That trap door is actually the entrance back to the target or the TARDIS. So let's go. You might have seen that. I was going to try to make it dark. Basically, lightning strikes to charge it. Now, let's explain who Barney is and Walter. These are NPC characters that I added using the Citizens plugin and companion plugins, I guess. This is called a Sentry. There are other ones. There's a Smithy. There is a Builder, which I'm about to show you. You arm them, give them a path to follow, and anything that comes in their way, they will take out. Let's see. So let's spawn a creeper. Now he can't kill it fast enough, so you're going to see it explode. But I am using another plugin, which I will explain a little bit. Actually, I'll go ahead and explain it now. Townie Advanced is mostly used for multiplayer servers with player versus player. There are switches that let you turn off or revert damage caused by creepers or explosions. So I could set a bunch of TNT and build a huge pit, and it would rebuild automatically. So I did not actually mention what creates a recharge station for the TARDIS, and it's essentially just this beacon. Everything else around the beacon is just a structure that I came up with and built. And you notice it's still rebuilding down there. So let's scoot up the mountain. So these were structures I did not actually build. I downloaded these. And they were schematics. So I mentioned there was another character, and he's a builder. So these are all the NPCs I have. Now that's Roberto. So let's select him, and these are all the structures that I have brought into the scripts structure directory. We are going to actually load the structure that's right next to us, which I believe is Little House. So it tells us how big it is, and that's it right over there. We then tell Roberto to build it, and off he goes. Now I could have just as easily imported this myself and pasted it, but it's kind of cool to have the character do it for you. So as far as building goes, I mentioned earlier the World Edit tool, and you can actually use the World Edit. There are a ton of functions built into it. So you can highlight areas, and this this tool that actually highlights the area, that is a whole separate client-side plugin, so you can actually see what you are selecting. So I can see that I have selected the entire area of that, and you just simply copy it, and let's, I'm just going to temporarily put this down here. Oh, wrong one. And it doesn't really matter where I'm going to put it because I'm going to undo it also. And we're going to paste it, if I can type it right. Boom. There is the structure. Deselect the old area, and there it is. Has undos built in. You mess up, you paste over something by accident, you can fix it. Very, very large structures, though, like I mentioned earlier with the helicarrier, that overloaded my server and kicked me out until it finished the paste, and then I was able to reconnect again. So that is essentially everything I was going to show. So just to show you the back end of the TARDIS. So I think that's probably where I'm going to have to leave it, because this file is probably going to be so long it's going to take a couple hours to upload to YouTube. So I hope I've blown your minds a little bit and shown you some of the crazy complex things that you can do in Minecraft. It's not just building blocks. It can get complicated, but it's quite cool. Catch you later.